What's up, guys? Cody here with the third episode of Anima Talks, an ethereal podcast focused on discussing ethereal news and information as it pertains to gameplay, as well as discussing various MOBA concepts, systems, and ideas and how they relate to ethereal. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend ReppedoutTv.
It's
So,
your boy.
today's theme is going to be all about healing, starting with ethereal's first enchanter, Marina. She's got multiple shields, AoE heals, move speed buffs and debuffs, and a mastery over water that speeds her up when walking over it and empowers her ult when casted over water to rain lightning down on her enemies that will reduce their damage. What did you think, Rep? I'll hold my thoughts for a bit. What did you think? What did you think?
I I guess I think it's interesting, right? Like I think her kit is interesting. I mean, I think you might say it. She kind of looks like a Nami 2.0 in some instances.
Mm-hmm.
I think her shield ability is pretty cool. How it could be like on multiple myths, right? Obviously Cassion the same will like dilute it. The biggest thing I'm curious to see is like her ability 3 and then her ultimate, right? So like the ability to place down that large pool of water, then use your ult to like apply the debuff potentially, right? I would assume that's how it works. Um, I could see her being very good, but I could also see her being very lackluster in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways. Um,
Yeah.
but I think for a healer, like I mean, she fits the bill. She buffs, she debuffs, she heals. It's like what more can you really ask out of a healer, right? Like
Yeah.
so I think she'll be good. I think she'll be good for the support lane,
Yeah.
especially if you're an
I
enchanter.
think she's ridiculously strong. At least like, and maybe it's just because they wanted to give an enchanter like actual tools that would be useful in a 6v6 environment. But like the ability to have three shields at once is broken. The fact that like, oh, I can spread it out into multiple people, or I can stack it all on my carry, even if it's at reduced value, it's still like that's insane to me. And like she's got like so much AoE abilities that it's for in a 6v6 environment, I feel like any AoE ability is going to end up being very strong. Especially because right now we haven't seen anyone with a huge amount of range. Maybe we will come this week, but yeah.
Ooh.
But so far it's like the bubble that she puts down, while the cast range on that isn't very long, the radius of that seems to be big enough where it's like you're going to be hitting multiple people at a time.
Yeah.
Even if it's just hitting your own team, that's all that really matters. Like you're most of the time you're just there to heal people, not really there to output damage. It as more so in the supportive role than anything. I would have liked to see how much the move speed decreases from her E. They didn't show that. They just showed Noxus just sitting in the pool with the slow debuff on her. The move speed that she gets from in water seems pretty pathetic, to the point where I almost couldn't tell the difference from that part. But I think it is cool, the whole like alt into E thing, and something that like if you've watched the videos, especially the Malaya Spotlight video, they showed Atropos is completely covered in water. So you can rain down that ult in an Atropos fight, and it's just gonna start smacking people up. Another thing I didn't like though was that like, they didn't show how big that ult range actually is. Like you showed some thunderclouds popping down on people, but you couldn't really tell how big that range actually was. So and I think her passive is just broken too. Like these giving move speed alone, I think is broken. Like it gives move speed, it gives healing, it gives damage. It just gives so much. The only bad thing is that as a support, it makes you not want to auto attack, which
Yeah.
is it's awkward in laning phase. Um,
What do you think about her charm? Like her singing?
Almost useless.
You think so?
Yeah, I think because it's like if there's only one person you have to worry about diving you, then I think it's good. But if there's multiple people diving onto you, then it's like, oh, I've got to watch like multiple directions now. That charm's not going to work anymore. That's how I see it.
I mean, you could say the same about like Cassiopeia, right? Her ult. I mean, because
Her ult's a
like
much
that.
bigger cone though. This looked like it
I
was
mean,
like right in front of Marina.
I mean,
I'm
yeah, but imagine you're sitting on your carry and you just freaking pop it. But also the thing is like, how long does it actually charm them for?
I'm pretty sure it's just until you let go of the ability.
Well, yeah, okay. How long does the ability channel last? Can I just hold it for like 5 seconds or like?
I mean I'd imagine like once they got to you, it would expire type of thing. So maybe it
I
only
mean,
lasts for like a second and a half, 2 seconds maybe. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's a long CC duration, but I just think that like she's gonna be so squishy that I think it's gonna be very difficult to actually hit multiple people with it as long as the enemies don't just all walk in a straight line. So that's the
full
only thing I
tank,
think about.
full tank. Yeah, we
A
were
full
saying
tank would be
that.
kind of funny. I mean, yeah, full tank would be kind of funny.
I don't know.
Um,
I just think like I just think her entire kit is useful, but like I just wonder about the values, like
the numbers.
and yeah, and like how much healing will actually do, right? Like
Yeah, I
and
think.
how much damage throughput will be out.
Yeah, well, they said that it was gonna be good for a support, so I imagine it's gonna be how much damage Nami, maybe Karma would output. So
I mean, it also said in the spotlight, if you need damage, you could build AP items. So I mean, like maybe her damage is gonna be sick too. I mean, AP carry? What?
we'll see. I mean, talking about items, I mean, obviously for like support, Uriah Stone is like the only thing you'd ever really consider. I think the AP item one is kind of just bad unless you're just a hard on mage. And even then, it's still not great. And then Book of Pandora is obviously the other immediate
Yep.
choice there. Just it honestly, it's no reason to not take this, even if you're going like full mage. I feel like it's still good to take it. So,
So what do you feel about any of the Broken Mask series?
oh yeah, the mask, wizard
I'm, I'm,
mask,
I'm
wizard mask, paladin's mask, guardian's mask, even like all the masks. All the masks are just straight up broken.
yeah, that's
Like
I just wanted to see because like I think they're all gonna be very situational based on like what you need, right?
I think Guardian's Mask and Paladin's Mask are good on literally anyone that's not like a carry. I think you can buy it on so many people. Just
Yeah.
because like Guardian's
I mean,
Mask is Mikhail's on a tank item. It's like
yep,
what you
broken.
like supports in League of Legends already get buy Mikhail's even when they're playing like tanks, just because of how valuable the item
Yep.
can be in certain matchups. This is on a tank item, so and while like a support doesn't necessarily care, like they appreciate the stats, but sometimes they would prefer other things, but
I mean,
they're
having
not gonna
extra
complain.
health and armor, like yeah, having extra health and
Yeah,
armor, I'll take it,
and
and
then
with a useful passive.
Paladin's Mask is Locket. Paladin's Mask is just Locket.
Yep.
So it's just like those two items I feel like are just amazing. And obviously like Paladin's Mask on an enchanter that's gonna heal everybody as the fight's going on, amazing. The one I'm
I mean,
worried about and the one that's probably gonna get nerfed first is Wizard's Mask. For sure.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm getting really
strong.
insane like every mage is gonna buy this item type of thing. I'm getting those league vibes of where like mid laners were rushing spell thieves just because the
Yep.
slow was OP and
40% of your mana. So like the level two, right? Like the level two item, like 40% of your mana every 120 seconds is wild.
yeah, that too.
Like you could literally just stay in lane forever. Like as an early item, like you just stay in lane, and
Hmm.
it's 20 MP5. So it's like cool. You give me health and MP5, I can just sit here
Yeah.
in lane and do nothing, right? And even the base one's 20%, right?
Hmm.
Um, I would say the guardian or the hero's mask like might be beneficial for like if you lack engage.
Which I
Uh,
think right now there's a lot of lack of engage, and when I've especially like Talos is the one that I really see, and I'm like, ooh, if someone builds Hero's Mask for him, ooh,
exactly.
we got a nasty Talos there that doesn't have to now that doesn't have to use his ultimate to get in anymore, can maybe actually get into a better position to ult to, you know.
Yeah, but like 35% move speed is kind of bonkers. Not
Yeah,
including any other buff, right? Like not including anything else.
yeah, yeah. All
I
the
mean,
mask items are just broken strong.
they're just
So
good.
yeah,
That's why I thought I was like any mask. Like I mean,
yeah.
they're all good.
All of
So
them are good. It's like even like Wizard's Mask is the only one that's like more myth specific in terms of like you have to actually be a mage to use it. But Wizard's Mask can also be bought on an actual mage. Um
broken. Yeah.
yeah, they're all just so broken. So I think
What do you think about shoes? What do you
shoes.
think? What do you
I've
think
I've
about
got
boots?
no idea.
Yeah.
I honestly have got no idea for boots. Maybe you get the reinforced ones that give you extra move speed.
Yeah.
Just
That's what I was
because
thinking.
I've got no clue, man. You could get
I mean,
any of
like,
them, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, that works.
yeah, I was also thinking like enhanced boots, right? Like the plus 60 move speed, and you get
Yeah,
like CDR plus reduced class CDR as well.
yeah. I wish
Yeah,
that they would say what the like. I wish they would say if the those boots, the ones that reduce the class abilities. I wish they would say how that affects like the knight class and the cleric class because those are
Mhm.
quest based or like item like they don't have a stamina
Yeah,
bar, they don't have an ability tied to them. So
it's just like a completion of something, right?
yeah, I
Or
wonder
along those
how.
lines.
I mean, I'm sure they'll say it when they release like the class stuff and details. So
Yeah, that
um,
it's interesting to see how it plays out, right? Like
hmm
who knows?
yeah,
Um,
um, yeah.
yeah.
Other
Outside of
item.
that, I really don't have
I
anything
mean,
crazy for them as well.
Yeah, I'd have nothing crazy. Like Charmification seems like it might be like a must buy just because it's mana CDR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
it depends on like how mana reliant she is.
Intensive.
Yeah, how mana
Yeah.
hungry. Um, Forbidden Book is just an anti heal option. And then like I was looking at like Perseus Warding. I'm assuming Perseus Warding negates the spell it reflects, but I'm not sure. Um, but if it negates the spell, then it's like a Banshee's. And it gives like defensive
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah. I would equate it to that.
So,
Huh.
um,
I mean, yeah. I don't know how. I just wonder like what the full extent of the game will give, right? For like items
mhm.
for supports. Because like I see those like initial, these are you have to buy these, right? Like these are makes the most sense. And then after that it's like, do you just go
Mask.
AP
No, you just buy every single mask item in the
every
game.
map?
You just keep popping on every mask, every fight.
Jeez.
It'd be kind of funny
Yeah.
that and the image of me like having the Marina just like pull out a mask, everyone gains
Oh,
move speed. Pull a mask, everyone takes less damage. Pull a mask, you're not grabbed by Iran anymore. You can go. You know,
jeez.
I think that's just funny.
Nah, they'll have to share. They'll have to share a like CD. There's no way they
I don't
don't.
know. I don't
It'll
know.
have to be unique passive.
We've been talking about support Marina. What do you think about Marina in other roles, like mid lane or just like carry?
Um, I mean, so obviously it'll all depend on the ratios. I think it's really hard to say right now because like I don't see any other carries that have been out. They're like AP heavy, right? Like obviously,
We have
we'll
Noxus
get
coming
into
up.
it later. Yeah, we'll get into Noxus later. It's like
Hmm
I think there will always be a role for her. Like let's just say you send her mid, right? Like a Seraphine or a Zillion or like
Yeah.
like a, like a like a support mid laner that's like, cool, I'm just not gonna lose. I'm just gonna
hmm
sit here. I'm gonna scale up until I'm this like crazy healing god that just runs around and just heals everything, right? I could see
hmm
that being a distinct possibility, especially with like the lack of myths right now. But then it's like, who's gonna fill the support role?
Right. I mean,
I guess she
anybody.
is a support, but like, what do you do? Do you
Hmm
just
Well, I was
throw
thinking.
3 people jungle or something?
Well, I was thinking you could just have her in the carry role because we already see like Seraphine and like we already see other enchanters being played, and honestly, like even Senna is borderline support. for League of
Yeah.
Legends as
In current
well.
meta, yeah.
It's just like you put her in the quote unquote carry role and pair her with someone that can get her through the laning phase, so that way she's not this squishy support anymore. You know, that's susceptible to heavy dive, which we don't have really right now. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, but like who in the current meta would, or who in the current like myth pool that we have, obviously very limited, would you put bot with her? Sorry, to put you on the spot. I'm just
yeah, I know.
curious.
I mean, it would just be Talos at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm really
because that's like,
hoping out that Leia might be that tank support, but we haven't. You know, that's 2 weeks away at
yeah.
this point. So
Yeah, I mean, and if the double jungle, like I think it could be a possibility, but like as of right now, with like who we know, I find it very hard to believe that that's like
yeah, it's
the way they're going with, you know.
yeah. It's just it's hard just from the fact that we have so few champions. It's like you've only got so many people you can put in so many places, and your options. Like if you're not putting Marina support, who else are you throwing there? If you're not putting if you're putting her mid, who was going mid that you're putting somewhere else now? You know, it's the same discussion with like if you throw Dante into the solo lane because he's a fucking Lucian that's gonna just wipe the
Just
floor with
kill
Iran
people.
or
Yeah.
Talos, whoever's up there. Who are you throwing in the carry role now? You know,
Yeah,
so
and that could be a possibility. It's like you throw Dante top or whatever, then you have, Marina go bot or whatever, right? With a tank or a
yeah.
bruiser-esque champion, and they just survive the lane and then they buff everybody. So I mean, it could happen, but I think as of right now, with the limited meta and like the limited myths, it's going to be very like cookie cutter for
Hmm.
until they produce more myths,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean,
Um.
that's brand new game.
Yeah. 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 And speaking of all the different myths and right now, and we kind of alluded to it. Enchanters might be a little broken. Might be. In the current format with what we have available, there doesn't seem to be a lot of burst damage in the game. There doesn't seem to be a lot of heavy engage in the game. So healing seems kind of broken right now, in my opinion. Unless like the values are so low that it's like, why are you playing this champion? It seems very broken, especially like Marina has AoE heals and her shields can be AoE, and she just has AoE abilities. It seems broken to me. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I in the current state, like I just think healing is gonna be so good. Like not even just like enchanter healing, but just like
Mm-hmm.
lifesteal, just healing in general. I think enchanters are gonna be extremely strong. Like so far because like who is going to engage on you?
Mm-hmm.
Like who at this
It
moment?
is just Malaya at the moment, really. Like Talos can
Yeah,
jump
and
in.
potentially Talos. Like
Yeah, Talos can jump in, but he's not gonna have a stun paired with him. Like, sure, Fear of Gauntlet maybe, but then you just don't CC him.
yeah, it's not yeah. Well, that's the thing, and then like, but then you have Iran that can just like stop the dive, right? Or her charm can stop the dive, like,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
like your Talos plays defensive and just like stops him. So I think, and I'm very scared of this. I think the initial meta will be very slow paced and very like I don't know what you do.
Well,
Like how does one engage?
that's why I think Malaya could be like. Originally, I was thinking Malaya was really bad because I was looking at her and I was like, she's trying to like do two things at once. She's trying to be this assassin, but also be this on-hit fighter. But I think if you just play her as a straight up assassin and just speed up the game really fast, you can just become so OP, you're so strong that it just doesn't matter. And especially like if there's gonna be a squishy duo lane for you to abuse potentially, you know that might make the difference. So
Yeah, I mean, no, that's true, and with herself, just like her sustain, her ult, trying to like,
yeah,
unkillable, whatever. Like, I think she might have an answer to that. But like as it stands right now, the longer the games go, like, I feel like
yeah.
healing's just gonna be so potent.
And
Like,
we mentioned like how Talos had we've mentioned in the Talos video how like can apply a lifesteal on his abilities and whatnot. Um, why the fuck did they make physical lifesteal apply on abilities? I still don't understand why. Like this is a little bit of a rant. Why does lifesteal apply on abilities? Why did you make an item that that says that lifesteal applies on abilities, that you heal from ability damage, but your lifesteal already does that? And why is there no magic lifesteal item outside of that particular item? Both of which, by the way, Chaos Scythe is the AD one, Talisman of Life is the AP one. Both of those heal for 7% of our AoE damage. Why do they get this healing reduction off of AoE damage, but normal lifesteal doesn't? It doesn't make sense to me. Like like looking at this, like why?
Yeah.
I just don't. I sit here and think about it, and I just don't understand.
I mean, I think this will just be like the early growing pains, and I feel like it's just going to get tuned substantially, right? Like through the initial gameplay or like testing, they have to be seeing this, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that you don't see like the egregious advantages or disadvantages, like whatever whatever it might be showing. Like at this point, like I just think healing in any capacity is just
Yeah.
like how do you combat it? How do you combat healing?
You have to buy the anti-heal
healing
items.
at this point.
You have to.
Yeah, but like, is it going to be enough? Do you think that the healing reduction?
I think if you don't though, how do you ever kill somebody? There's no
like at this point, I think healing is more strong within this game than it is. I'm sorry to keep quoting League of Legends. Than it is in
fine.
League of Legends.
That's you got to understand that that's my audience, or at least that was my original audience, I should say.
And that's the thing is like if you're saying that the healing is stronger within this game, and like, would you say the anti-heal is stronger in this game? Like,
I don't think anti-heal. I mean, in League of Legends, I feel like you only get anti-heal just for like particular champions. Although I say that, but I feel like there's always the champion in the game that's it's like, oh, we need anti-heal because Conqueror exists.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just like if you don't get it, then the fights just go on forever. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like even if you do, like the point I'm trying to allude to is I feel like even if you do get it, the fights are going to last forever, which I think is like a problem, right? It's just going to be like a okay, and I think it's gonna be a problem for the audience more so.
Yeah, I mean, like if the healing items weren't so bad, like because like I sit there like Quartering's Edge isn't that bad. Quartering's Edge isn't bad. I don't remember off the top of my head what the AP one is. Or that's Forbidden Book, right? Forbidden Book isn't bad either. But then I look at Scorch Phantom, which would be like the one that Dante would probably be picking up. And I'm like, why the fuck would I buy this item? This item looks so bad unless I'm doing an on-hit build, and even then it still looks bad when you compare the values to the other items.
She is wild. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why you would buy it either. Like,
yeah,
I could see, like the Quarter's Edge and stuff being beneficial, right? Because like it is 32%.
Yeah, and like Forbidden Book just
like,
needs 2 procs. Once again, like I don't understand why the items have like I'd understand if it was like I'd understand if it was like, okay, yeah, so we don't want people, we actually want you to actually have to hit these because our AD myths will more easily proc this item, and our magic damage myths won't. But we've already seen that like our magic damage myths can already proc this very easily, unless it needs to be 2 separate spell casts. And even then, though, that's still easy. It's just
so it will have to be like 2 because it only applies once per ability. So like dots won't count, right?
I didn't read that.
But but yeah, so like I would say hitting two abilities will probably be harder than an auto attack champion with attack speed or whatever the builds are going to be to hit 4. I would say like they'll almost be equal, right? So like, but it also depends on skill. Like honestly, I just don't think 30% reduction with all of the buffs that are coming in is going to be enough to like offset enough, and that's just what I'm worried about. Because like nobody wants to watch a fight that lasts 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like imagine watching 2 teams with a Seraphine and a Soraka, just like running around healing everybody with like Moonstone Renewer. It's like okay, sick. So we're just gonna
Hmm.
Oh wow, yeah, they sure did heal. That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
outplay.
Yeah. It's yeah, I can kind of yeah, I can see just like it's like having two canes run at each other and try to kill each other, but they just keep life stealing off each other, and
Yeah,
it's just like you're not getting anywhere.
it's like good job, man. You
Yeah,
sure did. QW, nice.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
but
don't
but
know.
I think it'll be fixed soon. Honestly, I
I
don't see
hope
this ever
so.
going.
I hope it's not as big of an issue as what we're thinking it to be.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
no, same.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We got to see the UI and the key bindings for different things. They revealed the UI for some of the stacking mechanics. We had already seen some of it.
yeah,
And it's just an icon. I really I didn't care. The whole Dante scoping in thing.
is a little.
I mean, it's once again, it's just meh. It's like I don't like it. Okay, that's yeah, cool. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it. I was just like, what's like, all right, like kind
I
of
don't
seemed like
know.
okay,
I was just like, yeah, I was just like, okay, sure. Like,
weird flex. Like
and
that's kind of how I
like
felt.
they. I also don't understand. Like, they showed the like I don't know. I don't know. I guess it doesn't make any sense to show the myths again for the different icons. But like, you showed the Talos icon in his thing, but you didn't show the Iran icon in his thing. And you didn't show the Malaya icon in her thing. So what's up with the
Yeah.
discrepancies there as well? It doesn't make. And like, I think we got to see the Dante one too. Actually, we got to see the
Hmm.
Dante one in
Yeah.
his spotlight. I'm pretty sure. So I
I
don't
mean, it might just
understand.
be
Like,
like
it's just it's no. There's a lack of consistency. That's what
yeah,
I'm.
but I mean, it may like I guess it kind of makes sense due to like a newer. It is a newer like game. Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
new. Like it's been in production, whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Like if you even look back to like the early days of League of Legends or like Dota or like whatever, like there were inconsistencies all over the place, and like
Hmm.
look at where they got to, right? Like look at
Yeah.
where they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I nitpick things because that's
Yeah,
how I was raised.
because you're spoiled. You're spoiled with the games that are out today.
I'm
Yeah,
spoiled,
true.
yes. Well, it's also it is also because we want to see the game succeed, and so we're gonna point out its
True.
flaws and whatnot. So,
No,
um,
I'm very hopeful. What do you think about the keybinds in particular?
I am going to have to rebind some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. That's
the whole
surprised that too.
X and C I can do because you're gonna be doing WASD. So X and C are
Yeah.
actually pretty easy. Z is almost a no go for me. I can do it, but I'd rather not. And
Oof.
then
Yeah, I don't
function
know.
keys are like a big no no for me. I don't even use the function keys when playing League ever. And the function keys are gonna what you're gonna be using to level up the abilities. And I in League of Legends, like I have to I don't even like I mean in League of Legends obviously my hand placement is different. But like to do like control plus the ability, I just bind control on my mouse button. So I just hold down my thumb on a button and hit
Yeah,
it.
and then click it.
There better be an option to do something like that instead of it being an individual button for each ability.
No, they'll have to make like a quick keybind or like whatever, right? Or like change the alteration of keybinds. It doesn't make sense. They wouldn't.
Yeah, because like there's no way I'm gonna have to look down at my keyboard and
Yeah.
manually press every time, which is a big deal if you're in the middle of a fight. Like that, especially like if you have like that level 2 power spike in League of
Mhm.
Legends, like I'm already in League of Legends, sometimes I'm flashing before I even hit that level 2 mark because I'm, you know, I know that the
Yeah, you know
system's
what's gonna
gonna
happen.
work and I know that I can automatically level up that keybind, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, honestly, to me, like it might just be because I'm old and like I'm starting to get carpal tunnel in my hands. Like the CXZ, like I'm 1 million gonna have to rebind those to like to something to the right of R and F because like
Hmm.
uh I mean maybe I could hit them with my thumb,
I don't
but
know.
like that feels so weird. Like
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
I
like I
don't
said,
know.
I have a mouse that has a couple keys on it, a couple buttons
Yeah.
on it that I can bind some stuff to. But
I mean yeah, but I would say like the general populace might not have that, right? Like, because
yeah,
yeah, I could figure out ways
yeah,
to
it's
set
like
up,
a
set up
60
my
$70 mouse. So
yeah, like like I can set up my mouse to do that, but it's like, should I really have to? Like, I don't think I should. But also, it's like there's so many abilities that I don't know where they could go. So get that. I think that's just gonna be like learning it and preferential like keybinds, right? Like even
Something,
people in League change stuff. So.
yeah. Something else that I noticed on there, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's only 2 buttons for activatable items.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't notice that,
I think that's a thing.
but how
I'll
you would
double
have?
I'll double check it here, but I think that's a I think I remember seeing that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I hope you're wrong.
I hope but I feel like I remember seeing that, and I was like, that's odd. Let me double
I
check
mean,
this real fast.
maybe you'll have to bind additional keys or whatever to.
Right,
Or
yeah,
is it only
because
like 2 slots?
right, X and C are active 1, active 2. And
They have to
then
have like active 3s, 4s, right? Like
not even on the controller, it's just active 1, active 2.
all right,
This,
we're limited in 2 actives. 2 actives per myth, baby. We're sending it. I mean,
this
it might not be as big of a deal as we think. Well, I think it will be, but
I
I mean,
think I
we'll
think for
see.
support it's a big deal. I think
I mean,
on
because
support.
like almost everything has a freaking active.
Right, yeah.
So.
There's so many times in the league where I'm just like, I don't have space anymore on my keys for my actives anymore. I'm out of space. Like, yeah. Like, because like I mean, there's like some keys I just never even like the items on league are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't use 1. I don't use 1 and I don't use 7. Those are both bound to different things. And it's like in league, it's like if I have to get to number 6, my whole inventory is just full of just crap. Just
Yeah.
I say crap, but it's full of activatable items. And like we already know that like every single mask is an activatable item. And it's like, so am I only limited to 2 masks by default now? And if so, does that mean like I literally can't get any other active item pretty much? Like I could, but I would be losing the value.
Or yeah, or you have to choose like which act. I think there will be like alternate keybinds that you might be able to add on the controller. I don't know how that'll work.
There's no space left on that
No idea.
controller. I'm looking at that controller right now. And
Yeah.
there, like, I guess you have R3 and L3, the push-ins on the things, but
Right.
like I looked at that
Maybe
thing and
get
I was like,
step
wow,
controller.
that's a lot, especially because it's like, especially like they have like L2 right D-pad is this, and it's like multiple button combinations is doing different things, and I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I'm not a controller player. Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't. I know they are trying to market the game to a larger audience, right? So involving PC and console, but it's like if you're making something that busy, like the controller is that busy, it's like like what console player is going to want to play where they have to do a fucking sorry, like a combination or whatever of
Yeah.
left trigger down D-pad B, right? Like
Right. I
just to
mean,
do
I mean,
something.
I mean, some most of that is just for like minor things. I mean, there's like L2 down D-pad is open store, which is a little important, but it seems like, but looking at it, it's like L2 plus everything is what's generally activating your shit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
want
the
to do
picture
it.
looks messy. The picture looks messy. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way.
So maybe playing it might not be bad, but
Yeah.
I'll never play controllers or whatever the PC
No.
Master is.
Yeah, I tried to pay Paragon on our controller because my laptop that I used to have for whatever it wouldn't run it, and then like I gave up. I got a new laptop or whatever, and I gave my little brother my laptop, and then Paragon all of a sudden works fine on that laptop again. But during that time frame when I didn't have a laptop that could play Paragon, I was playing it on the PS4, and I couldn't play it on
Yeah.
the PS4. I hated it. Just mostly
I
just
am
because
not
I
playing
knew
controller
how well I knew how much easier it could be if I was on mouse and keyboard.
on PC. Yeah.
And even then, like I can't play Overwatch on my PS4 at all. I can't aim for shit with my controller, even with aim assist.
Oh no.
Even with aim assist, I can't aim for
Oh,
shit.
you're sad soul, dude. Nah, I'm a even FPSs. I'm like PC playing console. I'm a potato as well. Like
Hmm.
it just is what it is.
Yeah.
FPSs were made for PC. I'm just saying. Um,
Yeah.
but I
Well,
guess transitioning into like I guess AP potential carries. Like, what do you think about Noxus?
I'm excited. It's like because she's gonna be the premier mage. This is gonna set the bar pretty much, and I want to see like we haven't seen a lot of burst damage. You know, Marina had AoE abilities, but it's a support. They're not gonna be doing a whole lot. If you have AoE abilities, if you've got burst damage, if you've got any bit of CC in your kit, ooh, you're starting to look real sexy, girl.
Yeah,
You
you look
know.
at Juicy. I
Yeah.
mean, her splash art and everything looks amazing as well.
Hmm.
Like,
And
I don't know what they like did for her. Like, I don't know why they be going so hard on her, but like, I think she's by far the best looking myth that I have seen so far.
yeah, she looks good. Um,
Like,
yeah. I think with whatever they put out for her kit, I think is really gonna like be the final nail in terms of like how team fights are actually gonna be played out. Because Leia's she sounds more of like a supportive jungler more than anything. She doesn't seem like a super heavy carry and whatnot. So I feel like Noxus is gonna be the myth that is like, okay, yeah, this is how fights are playing out. It's either gonna be slow, like slow poke, 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 and then all in, or it's just gonna be like we're gonna go in. Noxus is gonna try to kill somebody, and if she doesn't, then I guess your team wins. Like because the
yeah,
enemy Noxus couldn't do their job.
yeah. No, I'm very curious to see her
Yeah,
abilities and like
and
kind of like what she is.
I think like I mean imagine she's gonna be like Lux, right? She's a
You think
light.
so?
Well, they say that she's got like a shield or something, or some I don't know. There's like
Nah,
no information
she gonna
really.
be like Syndra. She gonna be like Syndra.
Syndra,
She's coming.
she's got more of that Syndra look, yeah. But
CC
yeah,
one shot. I'm just saying it's
well,
happening.
I
It's
think
coming.
and like I think she's gonna have like a beam thing though as well. I'm not sure. That's why I think like
So
she's
would you
gonna,
say like a ray of light?
yeah, like Lux.
I
So
mean, but what about her orbs, dude? What about her orbs, man? So wait,
those
she's one
orbs.
of her abilities is going to be a Syndra ult, and then her ultimate will be a Lux ult. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Just one shot. Call it a day.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just give her all the one-shot abilities in the game.
I mean,
That's
hey, you can
how
pair
else
it
are you
by
supposed to
healing. You can.
combat healing. Obviously, this is the only way.
They're gonna watch
Um,
you with talks, and they're gonna be like, "All right, boys, we need to make it happen."
yeah. And we'll talk more about. I think we'll talk about the mage class next week because
Okay.
that's an interesting discussion that I think we can leave for next week.
Yeah.
That yeah, just TPs are. So yeah, that's gonna be it then for this episode of Talks. Rept, where can everybody find you?
Once again, YouTube, Rep.tv, and then Twitch, Rep.tv.
Okay. And once again, outside of YouTube, I also stream on Twitch. Link for everything will be in the description below. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. And remember, we do do these every week, so we don't want you to miss out on them. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Looking forward to Noxus.